So in this video, we're going to talk about the 3 ways to grow any business to the moon. How do you grow any business to the moon? Do you have any ideas? Well, I'm sure one of them is traffic, and that is what it is. So I'll tell you right now. 3 ways to grow any business is get more traffic, bring more customers in, more eyeballs in to see your stuff you sell, especially on the front end. Get them indoctrinated to your brand by seeing content, stuff like that. And then sell higher ticket stuff, get traffic. And then the next one, number 2, is get more buyer frequency, because recurring can become the lifeblood of a business. In fact, it's guaranteed income. So you can actually base your employees and base your hard costs and even scale too, like with ads and stuff with expected returns, because you know you're going to make more money. So I believe recurring is key. And that should be the core offer because it's recurring. Huge. What I'm doing is on the first upsell of a funnel I'm doing, oh, that was a funny call. First upsell of the funnel I'm doing, it doesn't matter the niche, but it's in the health niche. First upsell is a recurring membership. Why is the first upsell a recurring membership? Because after someone buys, they're more likely to take the first upsell. Why not make it the core thing you want, which is recurring? Have high ticket, have a higher lifetime value, have higher average order value, which is very powerful to do. You can spend a lot on traffic when you are able to spend a lot on traffic. That's really it. If you have $1,000 thing, usually that's the minimum I think of, maybe $500 minimum for a high ticket that I consider high ticket. Okay, and what you should consider too. So let's say you have $1,000 thing, you spend $1,000 on ads, and it's like $1,000 profit thing, we'll say. You got like a couple sales of $1,000 thing, you're profitable. Maybe that happens within a month. From spending $1,000, you get like a few sales of it from those people you got. And then let's say you brought in a lot of traffic because it was like $1,000. That's enough traffic to call it a lot. And then you have a funnel where you're breaking even. So you send people on the front end to a funnel that's breaking even, acquiring customers, which is the lifeblood of a business too. And what makes a business valuable is customers. And then you get people into recurring. That's your core offer. And you can have the upsell, but also in the back end, you can also get people into the recurring thing too. You could mention it and talk about it or have a specific page meant for that too, so you can send people to it. But if you do all those steps, you can grow any business and have a very powerful business. And, that's basically a value ladder, is having a lot of offers, even recurring and high ticket. Then just send a bunch of traffic. And if your stuff is converting, which it should, just do good messaging and stuff and then optimize from there and have stuff to sell. Make it work for any niche. Like, it does not matter the niche at that point. Because if you have a value ladder, you can spend a lot of traffic targeting the exact people you're looking for. Free content. You get people trusting and knowing you and all that, interested in buying. You can get people buying like crazy just organically and with paid traffic. So this is powerful. The truth about what a real online business should be and how it should be acted like. So when you start a business, you're going to start in one of the core 3 niches. Start health, wealth, and love. Then you're going to make a bunch of content, up to like 30 videos on YouTube specifically, and you can repurpose that onto Instagram and Facebook. But yeah, you want to make like 30 videos that are good. You could stand in front of the camera and talk kind of like this scenario, or it depends on the niche. You could do like screen record teaching video, or you could like do your voice, hide behind camera, and do like B-roll footage and stock photos with text pop-ups and stuff. But I recommend, be the face of your brand. It's way more powerful. It's one of the best ways to make money. And just be an expert in one of those core niches or a sub-niche inside of those niches. So if it's a wealth niche, be like real estate or something, even inside real estate, like wholesaling or house flipping or something. After you make like 30 videos of content, you're going to realize what your best performing one is, then double down on that. And then you can run an experiment later in the future, but definitely double down on those top performing videos you did. And it could be just maybe one video that you tested that did well, but you want to model the success of others. Those are what your 30 videos at first are initially based off of. And this is how real online business should be. Like, you should get a presence online and make content. That's the first step after you pick a niche. After that, you've got some products during that time, but I recommend don't even sell anything during that time. But if you need a little motivation, then you can link to at least 1 thing or 2 things, okay, during that time where you can get some money. And then after you've done those 30 videos, go ahead and reinvest the money you made and boost your channel. Okay, you want to boost your social presence online. So you can boost your top videos, literally targeting the exact people. And you could do this worldwide targeting, or you could do a specific tier 1 country targeting. And you just reinvest all the money you made during that time and just put it into your business. Treat business like a business. I told you this. Or you could do 30% of what you made and put it into your business. Like I said, like you can invest 30% of your money. That's what best investors do. But after that, after you boosted the content, you're going to keep creating content still. You're going to build a great funnel for the front end too, and you're going to start running traffic to that, and you're going to tweak it and everything until it's break even. You grow an audience, you grow an email list more specifically too, and you just keep growing an audience, and you keep creating content. Now, when you reach a substantial amount of followers, you can do like a launch of a product or whatever you want, or a service. You can launch that and make a significant amount of money, and then you can go ahead and invest it to grow bigger and bigger and bigger. When you reach a certain pinnacle threshold, you can grow naturally and organically without doing paid ads, but I still recommend do paid ads. And you can also retarget your audience too, okay, when you do like the launch of a new thing. This is how businesses run. It's about acquiring an audience, about acquiring customers, acquiring an email list, sending people to high ticket, low ticket, mid ticket, and especially your core offer of recurring, whatever that may be. Sometimes and most times it's a membership in this scenario in these three niches. But you can get in any other niche. You can sell a physical product and do this too. A physical product's great for this. Some books I recommend is Every Book on Marketing and Sales. There's a book called Expert Secrets I recommend geared towards this. You don't have to be an expert to do this. Okay, you can literally be one step ahead of someone. Okay, but I recommend be like 1,000 or trillion steps ahead of people, like literally. That's way more powerful. But at the end of the day, you can keep improving and getting better and better. And I hope you guys like this. This is how online business is ran. Literally. It's all about building trust, and how you do that is with having videos that people watch online, and then they want to buy something. It's just as easy as that. Solve a problem. I mean, just go through the videos here. I explained everything. This took me years to learn. I could start from scratch literally and do any niche, and I could crush it just by knowing this stuff. It's crazy. So you guys can literally crush it with this. When you have money working for you, you're going to make so much money. You don't even have to really work, okay, when money's working for you. So how do you do that? When you have a significant amount of money, I would say a couple mil to invest, then this is how you do it. Like when you have a couple mil in the bank to invest, this is how you do it. You should really invest half of it, but let's say it this way. Most smart investors invest 30% of their income. So you divide all your money by like 30% or whatever. What I do is I take my money in a calculator, the total amount per month, okay, that I have available to invest, which would be the total amount then by 30%. So total amount times 0.3 equals, then you see the amount. And that's the amount that you can totally afford to even lose. Because people can totally survive off the 60%, no problem, unless you're only making 100 a month or something. But you won't be making that much after knowing all this. After you basically invested in your brain, which you have here, you have all the knowledge. So you're going to make money. But at the end of the day, this took me years to learn. So the truth is you honestly don't need, and this is crazy, I'm saying this, you really don't need to learn anything else about marketing, sales, or business at this point. I'm telling you, it'll be a waste of time. You'll literally just hear the same stuff again and again and again. Because this is the truths, okay, about how to make money online, which making money online is the best input, the easiest input, or the least amount of input for the most amount of output of money out of any business model I've ever seen. So it's definitely worth your time. And, you've learned all this stuff. Basically, at this point, there's just like a couple more modules here to go through. Basically, you take 30%, you invest in what you know. At the end of the day, I say invest in traffic because that's most likely, if you're watching this is what you are learning. This is what you know really well, is invest in your business, in traffic, invest in equipment, invest in better production, invest in employees. All this is tax write-offable too. And, at the end of the day, especially at the end of the month, and if you're paying taxes quarterly and stuff, at the end of each quarter, you should just spend like all your money, honestly, and grow your audience more. And you can keep money, obviously. And heck, when you have a business bank account, you just pay yourself. That's already, you take the taxes out and stuff and all that easily. And, when you have a team, it's very, very powerful, guys. So we're trying to think big here and teach you guys powerful stuff. But when you have a business bank account, you want to spend a lot of that money on employees, on building the business, on advertising, on innovating too, and creativity and production, all that. At the end of the day, how you invest your money is in what you know. So here's the options of what you can do. You can invest to learn more. I don't recommend that after this, but it still is a tax write-off. All these are. Okay, investing is so cool because everything's a tax write-off and it makes you more money. So understand that too. Like, it's crazy. It's so cool. The other thing is buying businesses. The other thing is obviously advertising. The other thing is investing into your business in any way, investing in other people's businesses, which is stocks, like I mentioned. So I'm repeating myself a couple times. Investing in real estate can make you more money back. Investing in things that are rare, okay, and in high demand is always a good investment. So things that are scarce and in-demand resources, as Tai Lopez likes to say, and other smart investors, they say invest in things that are scarce and in demand because then it goes up and it's great. Invest in blue chip stocks, invest in things. You can even take a portion, like 10%, invest in something high risk, something you don't understand. It could be stocks. It could be cryptocurrency or something. Like in the future, if you're watching this, cryptocurrency will reach a pinnacle and everyone will be using it. I'm sure of it. And then just invest in different things. But for now, definitely invest in cryptocurrency. It's very powerful. I'm like all in Ethereum. I could go all in Bitcoin and stuff like that with my money, but Ethereum is just as good, if not better, in its own way. Like it excels in its own way. It's like smart contracts. I studied the crap out of it, and I put up quite a bit of money in it. And I know that Ethereum is just going to grow just like Bitcoin. Bitcoin per Bitcoin will be like $1 million per Bitcoin because so many people will use it. The market cap is so high. There's so many Bitcoins available. When there's a lot of money and then only so many Bitcoins, what happens? It's a scarcity and demand resource, so each Bitcoin goes up. These are just some basic principles / advanced to explain how to invest your money profitably. And this is how you do it, literally. And by the way, my favorite way to invest money, if you're wondering, is for sure into paid ads to a front-end funnel that's profitable. There's nothing better. Okay, now there is scenarios when you do cold traffic and it's so flippin' profitable that you don't even care to do anything in the back end, but you can with email marketing because you collect emails there, but you don't care to do any content in the back end and stuff. Now, I'm not going to just say this like too much hype here because that persuades people to just want to do that, because I'm telling you right now, the truth is you need to do front-end funnels, to content, to high ticket, and all these offers. It's very hard, I'm telling you, to do a front-end funnel that's profitable with cold traffic. It's, in fact, one of the hardest marketing skills to do in the world. I've been able to build funnels like this, okay, but it took me years. And the only way to do it is just to add a bunch of persuasion and a bunch of time to build it up. There are people that make, like $1 million a day with front-end funnels with cold traffic, but they plan like a whole year to do this. And I don't know who this person is, but by a powerful mentor of mine, I learned about who this person is without knowing their name. I still don't know their name, but he mentioned them in a story explaining that he builds for a year the cold traffic funnel. He basically for 2 years sits back as he runs traffic to the funnel for 2 years, and then it dies down and he doesn't do a thing. But during that time, he acquired a bunch of customers in that niche, so he owns a valuable asset he can now sell. It's a brand, it's a list of customers, and if he has recurring, it's even more valuable. So you could sell it, or you can go ahead and launch new stuff to the email list of customers, okay? That's the whole point of business. What makes business valuable is, how much traffic it is getting makes it pretty valuable. If it has recurring, makes it super valuable. And if it has a lot of customers, makes it even more valuable. And if the brand loyalty is huge, that's even more valuable. And if it has a value ladder, it all of a sudden is more valuable. If it has a whole team of employees in place and some good structure and organization, it's even more valuable. So let's talk about the high VRIN score formula. What is VRIN, first off? It stands for something. It stands for value, rarity, inimitable, and non-substitutable. So what is that? It's basically something very rare and hard to copy. So Ty Lopez initially told me about this, but I came up with a bunch of my own ideas from this. So I've noticed, through observing viral ads and viral organic content, which there is a lot of it, you'll realize the pattern that every single time it's rare. Like it can't be copied every single time. It's that important. Okay, so if you want to have a good ad and if you want to have a good organic content to go viral and stuff, you need to do something that is high VRIN score. And when you do something that you think is high VRIN score, what do? You need to basically score it to see. So from 1 to 10, you ask yourself, is this actually high VRIN score? If it's hard to copy for the average person, it is. Okay, so for example, I came across once, and this is just recently, old man, his YouTube channel. It was very funny. I saw this random video on my YouTube home feed, and it was weird because it was a thumbnail of this old guy feeding a bunch of raccoons. Like when I say a bunch, I mean like there was like 30 raccoons all around him or more, and they were crawling on top of him, on his porch. They were everywhere in the thumbnail and stuff. And I click on the video, and sure enough, that's what happened. It was very high VRIN score. Like no one, I'm sure, has ever seen that happen before to anyone. It's like very uncommon. And so he's the raccoon man, apparently. So like he built a career out of being the raccoon man. I'm sure he made good living. Still does, I'm sure. You can look him up. It's pretty funny. More high VRIN score stuff. A very attractive girls can be high VRIN score because it's somewhat rare, and everyone has their own taste. Another high VRIN score thing is someone like around 20, making $300,000 a month. That's how much I'm at right now, and it's scaling pretty soon. I'm doing something. When you have a lot of money, you can all of a sudden make big bursts in income, and I have plans right now with Facebook ads to make like $100K a day. Yeah, I know. In the next few days, I'll see if that's a thing, but $50K a day is good, $20K a day is good from the income stream. I mean, whatever. But yeah, that will equate to like $1 million plus a month at 20. So that's pretty high VRIN score, I'd say. So it's something rare for the situation a person's in, or something rare for a person, or a person's age or a person's gender. Another high brand score thing is someone eating food super quick. Okay. The other high brand score thing is what Mr. Beast does. He'll spend like 100K budget on a video or something, sometimes $1 million on a freaking video, one video for YouTube. Another high brand score thing is, making a good movie, an actual great movie. Like Marvel, the Marvel movies, those went viral. The Jack Sparrow shows, the Lord of the Rings, those are high brand score. What else is high brand score? Depending on your niche. That's what you got to think about. What is something extreme or something unexpected or something rare that you could do in your niche? And if you look at your niche and you look at what the most viral or got the most views in your niche, okay, you're going to see why they did. It's rare. It's hard to copy. So do something very hard to copy. You'll always get views, like a lot. And that's what it's all about. Attention economy, man. You get attention, you make money. In whatever niche it is, it really doesn't matter. But at the end of the day, there's better niches than others. I would say the wealth niche is one of the most lucrative. Another niche, not fully relevant to making content and stuff, is just, invent a great, product or service. Like Elon Musk invented great things. He's a billionaire, I got my own ideas, but probably not as big as that. Or do I? You always got to think bigger. I hope to be a billionaire someday. I really do. So what's another example? At the end of the day, you need to rate all your content in a brand score scale. And if it's high, above 8 or 7, you should keep it. But in general, you should have a lot of volume of content out there. Don't really delete it. I mean, I don't delete mine. Of all my content, I got a lot of content on my different, income streams of my second channel, and it's an entertainment channel. I don't know if I have said that before. And then I've got my personal brand. Those are only 2 channels. Then I got a couple others that have no content on them, but they were built just in case if I'm ready to go into those niches that I made them for. One of them's like ASMR and stuff I was testing. But at the end of the day, paid traffic will make you a lot of money. Doing an ad that is successful, an ad just simply needs to promote an offer that's a super low risk offer. If it's something that buying, it needs to be less than $10, then have upsells. And if it's something you're collecting leads for, it needs to be something for free in exchange for their email. But you really want to collect money and have a buyer's list. I really don't care about free stuff, people, unless they're sweepstake list. So anyway, my point is, with paid traffic and doing ads, do something very unexpected, do something very rare, and you'll get shared too. Like you'll get shared, and that's more free traffic. Or do something very funny. Something very extremely funny can be high brand score, because it's not like every single joke makes someone laugh. I mean, comedians often before their big stage, they'll do jokes that fail, at the lower, small stages or whatever. So just understand that there's a lot of angles to go with this. But just understand that brand score is something that I think about a ton. I literally dedicate a lot of time to think about something high brand score to make or do. And whenever I think of story to tell or a copywriting to write or an ad to create or content to make, I think of how's it going to be high brand score. Yo, welcome to this video. So basically, YouTube 100%. If you want to make money online, if you go the route of making YouTube channel or several cash cow channels, like you can have people make content for you and you pay them to do it, and then you just give them video ideas, they make the video ideas, and they go through an assembly line process. That's very powerful. But in general, YouTube's the best way. And why is that? Because they're the second biggest site, if not the first. Because Google is the biggest just because it's the search engine to find the sites. But the second biggest site is YouTube. So people are really going on Google to go to YouTube and, a bunch of other places. But YouTube is crazy. Okay, if you go to Similar Web, okay, and you literally see how many people are on YouTube each month. I'm looking at it right now. There is 35 billion people, okay, on YouTube every single month. And if you divide that by 30 days, that's over 1 billion people a day on YouTube. The human brain cannot comprehend how many people that is. Like, that's a lot of freaking people. Okay, and that's people coming back, obviously, because there's only like 9 billion people, 7 to 9 billion people in the world as of now as I'm talking right now. But straight up, only so many people have internet access. So a lot of people keep coming back to YouTube. That means the platform's amazing, okay? So anyway, my point is also, if you can literally make money just from having content on that platform. By the way, Facebook also, you can get paid to have content and have ads. They're the same as YouTube, and they pay too. It's kind of a little secret, okay? So you can upload to Facebook too on a fan page and get paid, You can call it AdSense revenue if you want, but yeah, you get money for that too. So what I'm saying is, when you upload to these platforms, you make a lot of money, and it's the most passive income I've ever seen because you make content and then you just make money from ads being all the content. The other most passive income in the world is just having a product that requires no fulfillment that you promote. That could be an affiliate offer, that could be a digital product, or that could be like even selling a service and someone else fulfills that service where you don't need to fulfill the service, but you have someone else do it. That is another passive income. So also passive income, stocks and investing in assets and stuff like that. That is a passive income. But what I'm trying to say is YouTube. You need to make sure you have a YouTube channel after doing this. You need to pick a niche, whatever it may be. Okay? I highly recommend do YouTube. I make a lot of freaking money from YouTube, and you guys will too. Okay? Because there's no competition. Okay? Like there is so much volume because it's the number one site in the world. Okay? Content never dies. It's always going to be there. A video is always going to get views to it. It's very powerful to understand that. Okay? So anyway, there's nothing else I can really say about YouTube other than how you can like blow up on YouTube if you want. But in the end of the day, just upload tons of content. I've surveyed, audiences and stuff here, and I've asked them, how much content would you like per day? I gave them the option of 1 per day, 2 per day, 3 per day, 5 per day, 6+ per day. And I said unlimited amount. And they, mostly everyone said unlimited, they don't care how much. You can literally upload unlimited amounts and people will love it. So be consistent, upload like crazy, okay? The time you upload does not matter, okay? The good content will get pushed out there, okay? You can also run ads to boost your content, but the whole thing about YouTube, which is so powerful, is you can upload very long content and people will watch it, which means you build better relationships with people so you can sell offers to them and they buy. It's hot traffic. Hot traffic is people with a relationship with you, okay? They're people that you follow that you built a relationship with online. If you're in this program right now, mentorship, it means you built a relationship with me, for example. And how did I do that? I just have a lot of content out there. There's a lot of people doing this. It's kind of no secret, but it really is a secret because no one understands it. People are just making content and they're building hot audiences, but they don't know why their audience, knows, likes, and trusts them. Okay? Like everyone is known, like, and trust in a way. They just have to become that. So YouTube's how you become that. But anyway, to blow up on YouTube, you gotta have good data, which basically means good metrics and good data. That's what YouTube pushes. So imagine if you had a video with 100% click-through rate and it was like a 10-minute video. So that means it's a good length and then it had 100% watch time. Okay, so that's a 10-minute average view duration. Okay, that's 100% average retention rate and 100% click-through rate. But good metrics in general is half of that amount. Okay, and you can get pushed. But in general, once again, you want to really, really have really high numbers for all of those. Really high click-through rate, everything, okay? So when you optimize for a niche that's a big, broad niche, that's important too, but YouTube audiences are only so big, some audiences, okay? If not all audiences are only so big. So a video will only get pushed so far until it starts to, go to audiences outside of that audience. Does that make sense? So basically, you're going to eventually cap out, and that's perfect. You now have a huge sustainable business. You can launch businesses on the side to your hot audience, and you can sell those businesses for more money, okay? That's another thing you can do that's very powerful. So I know a lot of examples that do that. YouTube, 100%, get a YouTube channel or several going. It's the best passive income in the world. Plus, it's actually one of the best incomes in the world for input, for a lot of output. It's the best I've ever seen. So let's keep going. Yo, welcome to this video. So this is how you promote top affiliate offers, okay? Now, there's actually several ways. Go-to ways I go to when there's a new offer on ClickBank or Digistore or any of those, or any CPA network in general, okay? And this is affiliate offer requires no fulfillment. All I need to do in that scenario is just, if you even if you have like a channel you just started, have no audience built or anything, there's literally channels that do this. You'll know what I mean in a minute. They will just make review videos, okay? They'll show their face or not show their face and just record the screen. They could even buy the product and then explain their experience with the product and literally have down below in the description link to the offer. And because there's so much traffic for this top offer and people naturally look up reviews of products, you're going to get traffic, okay, on YouTube, and you're going to rank and you're going to get sales. So I recommend to make it worth your time and get guaranteed sales. Just make 10 review videos. You could even use robot voices like text to speech freaking generators and just type out a script and use different robot voices, 10 or 20 or more. I call it the Juggernaut, passive income Juggernaut method, basically. And you can do that. Very powerful. Okay, I do that like with one of my channels like crazy. Okay, because it requires no work, bro. You just make a script, reviewing a product, and people just you make so much content for that hot offer. So much people see it, and all they need to do is just click on the video, and then just click the description to the website and your affiliate link. They're gonna go watch the VSL over on the offer, and that's all that matters. That's what sells them. Okay. Sometimes a good pre-sale type video recommending the product's great. Obviously, that can be better, but in general, just getting to click and then people watching a little bit about a review, and then people freaking going to go click and check out the product and watching that video, that's obviously way better. So anyway, you can do that. That's how you can promote a top offer. Another way to promote a top offer, a lot of people do, is they'll use native ads and Facebook ads and YouTube. Heck, they may even make a whole entire Instagram page or YouTube page just about that offer. Okay, because it converts like wildfire. It's going to be around forever, obviously. Plus, you could switch, after you build an audience, you can just switch out that top offer when it dies down, if it dies down, for a new offer that launches, because there's always a new offer. There's always a new offer. And the whole point of making money online is build an audience, whether it be on an email list or YouTube or Instagram, anything. That's how you really make money online. That's the whole thing. Okay, when you own traffic, you will always have money. Okay, it doesn't matter what niche it is, really. Okay, because there's even crappy niches you can still make money with. But, there's quality of an audience and there's not quality of an audience. But in general, if you have an audience, you're going to make money. Now you just need to grow it and get a lot of volume of an audience, and you're going to have a lot of money. That's just how it works. Even there's audiences where you can have 1,000 subscribers and still make a good, significant income. Literally, okay? That's usually the health, wealth, and love niches, okay? And yeah, that's literally it right there. So that's how you promote top offers on these affiliate networks. There's literally no better way. Okay, so there you go. You're going to get guaranteed money doing that just right there. Okay, and you're going to be getting commissions over time, like all the time, because people still look up reviews years later. Okay, for these top offers. So there you go. Put out tons of content promoting these top offers. You're going to crush it. Or you can do paid ads promoting them because they convert. It's really powerful. Just do the right funnel and you're going to crush it. This is going to be very interesting because a lot of times you've probably seen it's kind of a beginner thing to say to people, go do freelancing, go do services. I'm not going to say that. But what I am going to say is that one of the easiest ways to get sales online is to sell service, because it requires more understanding of psychology, which you will learn in here, to sell a product or something like that. But a service makes sense because it's like you're trading time to help someone, trading time for money. Okay? So it makes more sense for someone to pay someone to make a logo because they know they're going to make a logo and save them time. So it's kind of something everyone understands. So what I'm saying is, if you want to make money and you're doing YouTube or something and you're building a brand, you can easily sell services to people. Okay? And you're going to know what that service is by just looking at other competitors, for example, and what services they sell in your niche, or just coming up with your own service ideas just from the top of your head. And you should probably compare prices of what people charge for that service, but you can really charge at the end of the day whatever you want in general for anything. Okay, that's very powerful to understand that. But selling service is one of the easiest ways to get sales. Okay, but in general, percentage will always buy anything, especially when you have like volume of traffic. Especially when you have hot traffic, a good number of hot traffic, okay? And how do you get that once again? And this is probably the whole core of this whole entire program here. How to get hot traffic is to basically have people consume a lot of your content. So there's a trick to this, and I think I've mentioned it so far in this program, but you can basically have a playlist on YouTube, okay, that you send people to that can get an average view duration with people of 7 hours. So you really should upload so much content to YouTube that you're guaranteed over time, at least constantly, to get an average of 7 hours of someone spending with you. Okay? So that can happen over time for sure, especially, if you are doing a platform like TikTok where people only spend like 15 seconds with you, it's very rare that you can come back too, first off. But TikTok's kind of a platform where you can repurpose your content from YouTube. You can actually upload clips to TikTok, or you can make specific TikTok videos that can possibly go viral, and then you want to just push that traffic to YouTube so you can build better relationships with people, okay? This is powerful. I kid you not. The actual most powerful brands in the world, okay, are backed by a personal brand, and then actual personal brands are the biggest in the world, most powerful brands in the world. So you have to understand, I know I'm going on a rant here, it has nothing to do with services, but when you have a hot traffic and an audience or someone else's, and you sell a service, it's the easiest thing to sell is a service. You just gotta understand psychology. This advice can make you 1,000x your investment. The reason why is because if you scroll down and you see the topics of these videos and the trainings of what I'm going to talk about, each one of these can make you 1,000x your investment. By the way, your investment was either, whatever you saw the investment as, I don't know. But for mentorship, pretty high price compared to my other stuff, especially if I do more one-on-one stuff in the future. That can be upwards of 6 figures people have to pay to get mentorship with me. That's just because of demand. And that's how business works. When there's more demand for a product or a service, the price will go up. Now I'm going to explain to you what can make you 1,000x your investment. And I'm going to give you just a whole bunch of knowledge here real quick that took me years to learn that is just crazy. Like, I cannot explain how crazy some of this stuff is. So this is like how you make really big money online. So you ready? Are you ready? Let's go. Okay, so the truth behind if you really want to make big money online, do not sell something low ticket. Sell something very high ticket. And you know what? It requires just the same amount of effort to sell something high ticket. Now, you can have front-end products for low ticket, but that just brings customers in the door to then sell them to the high ticket. And there's the biggest thing ever, and I want to mention real quick too. This was the biggest change in everything I ever did that made me a lot of money, is actually making content. Making money online has to do with either having content or owning a business that is a service, like if you've ever seen like softwares as services, or like these massive sites, which I don't think any of us could ever build, like YouTube and Facebook and those big sites. Like, it's crazy. You could pivot your local business to be online. But what I'm trying to say real quick is, the biggest thing that made me money was constantly focusing on content 24/7. Okay, like on my other channel, I got quite a few channels, but I've only got 2 channels that really make money. There's my personal brand, and then there's my entertainment channel. My entertainment channel brings in around over $100,000 every single month, okay? And I say that because right now it's at that, but maybe in the future when you're watching this, it could be at $300,000 a month, just that alone. Just like, I'm going to keep scaling it up, okay? Just more content, more money. That's just how it works. And I do have like 1 employee behind it, literally maintaining the affiliate links, just like doing like the uploads and everything like that. And I'll make the content, but I also have like an Upwork person too that basically, here's how it works. I basically make a bunch of MP3 files with robot voices. This is very powerful. I make MP3s of robot voices, and you can look into the Juggernaut method in the future, what it is. But basically, you use these different tools that use like human generated voices, but they're like bots, and you use a good script. And these bots, you could do different versions of each voice, and with one script, you can crank out like tons of videos. And I have this video editor person just edit really engaging videos for these audio files, and these videos get views, and they can blow up. It's all about the script being good. That's the key. And then just have like good B-roll footage or stock photos. Sometimes I have them do some text explaining what's being said and stuff. But at the end of the day, it's all about volume and just getting tons of content out there based off trends, based off all this stuff, and based off big keywords in the niche. But that's another rant right there. But when you want to sell something online, this is the biggest thing by far. So in the past, it used to just be the bias of influenced by mere association or influenced by mere exposure tendency, which is basically like people just, their eyes see your product, and people are more likely just to buy because they see your product, because there was less products back then, less options back then. But nowadays, it's more of a trust and likability and knowing the brand or person type thing. So you are a salesman or saleswoman, okay? And you need to build relationships with those you sell. So this has to do with selling. This has nothing to do with YouTube at the moment. But all I can say is, in today's world now, you need to build a personal brand or build a company with a personal brand behind it. Because people want to learn from a person, or want to get value from a person, or more importantly, want to know the story of the person behind the company. Does that make sense? It's very powerful. You will not make hardly any money if you don't know this. So this is why this mentorship is so powerful. So basically what I'm saying is, let's say you go out there right after this and you pick the niche you want to do. You don't have to be some expert at it, okay? You can even have an affiliate offer, but I recommend have your own offers eventually for sure. Definitely high ticket, like I was mentioning. But what you gotta understand is, on average, it takes 7 hours for a woman to be comfortable enough to want to sleep with you, okay? If you're a man, or if you're a woman or a man, whatever. But it takes on average 7 hours for a customer to want to buy from you. Does that make sense? So they need to go on micro dates and long dates with you online. And what that is giving value over content. This is one of the biggest epiphanies I ever had. And I'm telling you inside this course, and it's the only place I will really ever expound on this, because it's the truth of how you make serious, and I mean serious money online. It's the only way to turn cold traffic into hot traffic. It's the only way to turn cold traffic into warm then hot. Like, it's crazy. So how it works is you have so much content built up on multiple platforms for a certain niche, and you're promoting certain offers and stuff. And what happens is, it's just like these people become friends with you online, and you're the salesman, but you're more of a friend recommending a product at this point. Does that make sense? So when you're giving value, okay, you're not just pitching. What I recommend really is don't even promote any offers and even call to action any offers. Just give value like crazy. This is how you make money. If you literally leave this video and don't understand what I'm saying right now, and you don't do this, you will not make much money at all. But you will make tons of money. It's crazy how the universe works, but it's reciprocity bias. You basically pick a niche that you want to do, and you just make tons of content. And trust me, if you show your face, the benefits outweigh everything. Okay, if you are willing to show your face and put yourself out there, okay, let's be harsh here. If you're ugly and think you're ugly or something, it doesn't matter. There's like 1 million people out there. For everyone in the world, there's always 1 million people who want to learn from you. I'm serious. And, once again, best platforms. I'll say this real quick. Best platforms. YouTube for long-form content, even short-form content. Instagram is kind of like a replacement for an email list, but you do want to have an email list. And by default, you're going to have that from purchases that you get. And you want a buyer's email list. I really don't care about people who want free stuff email lists, but if you're in the sweepstake niche, that could be good because they just want more free stuff, so you promote more free stuff. But in business in general, you want a buyer's email list. It doesn't matter to have leads in general. Your leads can just be followers, okay? But the email list that matters is buyers. But anyway, the other platform that's really good is Facebook. Facebook isn't super popular or talked about nowadays. So just so you know, the biggest social media site, but it's the biggest by far, content-wise, is YouTube. So definitely do YouTube. And, there is no limit to how, long your content can be, okay? I know people who have tested this. I've tested this myself. The longer the content, it's just a longer date. It's just a longer reciprocity building type adventure with the person viewing. They're going to either want to buy from you right then, or they're going to want more great content from you and build a bigger and better and stronger relationship, okay, with your brand. This is crazy. And, you don't just need to have one product or a few products. You can launch new products whenever. You can promote new products whenever, okay? And this can work for affiliate marketing and your own products. I recommend have your own products. But if you just want to do affiliate marketing, you can make tons of money. And you're going to realize the people that make really big money online are the people who have content. Now, after you have a significant amount of content, and by the way, a significant amount of content should be limitless. You should have hundreds of pieces of content out there, and they should be all different. Okay, I mean it. Just giving value in your niche that you pick. And the best niches is health, wealth, and love. And by far, the wealth niche is one of the best niches for this angle we're talking about here. And then when you're ready, run paid traffic and grow your audience and accelerate it, because you're doing everything right at that point. Okay, I'm telling you, content creation plus then growing the audience will make you rich forever. Okay, having an audience online is the secret, true secret to making money online. There's no other big secret. There really isn't. The only other secret is, someone gives you money, like a lottery of millions. Okay, that is the only other secret. It's not really a secret. Okay, the truth here is you build up so much content that people build big relationships with your brand. Then you just keep bringing people in. And once you reach a certain sizable amount, everything just snowballs really big. It becomes a big snowball going downhill, but really going uphill. And the snowball just becomes a big thing of money if you think of it that way. Like I'm telling you, I'm excited to talk about this stuff because it's the stuff I wouldn't just share for free anywhere, because it's like I don't believe in scarcity. I believe in abundance 100%. But I figure if I want to make this the most valuable thing I sell, I should only tell this stuff here. So you're getting it right now, right here. But I'm going to share all the other stuff down below here. But in general, have content, build relationships. Your brand's going to get even stronger and bigger and better if you're in one of the bigger niches. But you can be in a really sub niche and still crush it. seriously, it's ridiculous. You just build relationships by putting out so much content and, make your number one income producing activity every day, sending traffic. It could be worldwide traffic. It could be tier one traffic. Doesn't matter. You just want to bring people into your ecosystem it's crazy because I remember this one kid told me about how he was promoting his, because he was a really successful dropshipper. So he decided he would be an expert teaching dropshipping. Okay. So I'm a really successful super affiliate. And so I started teaching how to be successful super affiliate, and I promote a bunch of offers and stuff. And I realized there's actually almost more money when you scale it really big in educating people stuff. So I recommend to you, start educating people, whatever you're an expert at. And by the way, like I'm a super expert in the online space and sales and marketing, all that, and making money, but you don't actually need to be like a super expert in whatever niche you pick. You need to be at least one step or quite a few steps. If you please be quite a few steps ahead of a person when you're teaching them. Okay. Because anyone could be an expert. You just literally can learn from experts. All of a sudden you could become an expert, but you need to make sure that your brain is able to retain information and remember. But anyway, you need to be passionate about it too. But there was this kid, and he, expert dropshipper, for example, he had like a $197 course or $297 course. What he did was he put together a playlist on YouTube. He sent Facebook ads to the playlist on YouTube of a bunch of videos giving value. And what happened, guys? Because of reciprocity, he only linked to his program in the last training and somewhere in the middle a couple times. Does that make sense? So he only linked away to sell something when people actually built a relationship. Because guess what? That was cold traffic marketing. Everyone's trying to make money with cold traffic marketing. They don't even know what cold traffic marketing is. It's people who have never heard of you before, don't trust you, don't know you yet. The only way to really, really make people buy from cold traffic to becoming a buyer, which, by the way, once again, most coveted traffic source in the world is cold traffic. The true way to just crush it with cold traffic is either have a very long VSL, okay, selling something at a very good, decent price. If you're doing something very low ticket, you actually, in that case, would want to have a pretty short VSL. Like I'm talking anything around $10 and below or $50 and below. Do a pretty short VSL. But anything above that, do a very long VSL. The longer, the better. You're going to make more money. And you know what? You can do different clips and piece it all together, edit it all together to make a great big VSL. It could be 2 hours long. You're going to get so many sales in cold traffic. It's crazy. What this kid did, I don't know if it was a total of maybe 3 hours or so, but remember, on average, it takes 7 hours for someone to want to buy from you on average. It could take someone like 2 minutes to want to buy, okay? Just there's different buying temperatures, different personality types and stuff. This is powerful stuff, guys. Like, I don't talk about this anywhere. You're going to make so much flipping money from this. You one day, you're going to hug my neck. Like, literally. So, it's crazy. All I can say now is, like, pick a niche, go out there, make so much content on all these platforms. It's so important. By the way, video is not going away, so do video. Don't do written form content. It's going to suck. And then just innovate from there and get better over time. You're not going to be perfect in your first video, and I never was, especially on camera when I first started. Behind a screen, you could go the angle, and I don't want to say this. You could go the angle without showing your face, but trust me, the benefits of showing your face increase conversion rates, increases likability, trust, everything. Like, it's so important. When you get more people on board to build your brand, very powerful. I cannot stress that enough. Because then you have more diversity and people follow for different people that are involved in your movement. Okay. Like, I'm explaining some powerful stuff real quick, but, after you have tons of content, start running ads. This is the best part. Start running ads to all the best content you have. And you'll know what your best content is based off the, basically engagement, the likes, the comments, but also the subscriber to view ratio. So if a lot of people subscribe from how many views or whatever, you'll be able to see that statistic inside your analytics, especially on YouTube. You're going to see what your best content is, and you can boost that to new people and bring them into a playlist. People just binge watch and build a relationship with you. Subscribe for sure. They subscribe, and then, like, straight up, it's ridiculous because then they get indoctrinated to your brand and they buy from you again and again and again. If you keep giving value, it's all about giving value. I'm telling you, to make money online, this is the secret. This is so powerful. I'm so happy I can share this with you guys. Peace. Let's keep going through.